I think we should reasonably be able to finish up this talk, but now maybe you can understand from part one and part two why I think sex negativity is an important issue here. It's not just that it affects women, it affects men too. And it's a conversation that's very, very long overdue. Shoot, now I'm starting to talk in rhyme. I'm going to be the Dr. Seuss of sex negativity. Anyways, that was unintentional. Let me try and get through the rest of this, because again, and I do, again, in case you missed parts 1 and 2, I want to warn you, I will use the N word as it is written in the lyrics. I'm not going to censor it because it's how it's written. It's not a word I like to use, but it's the one that is being used at this point. Okay, so he just got through talking about how this woman got pregnant from a gas station attendant because she was shaking her ass being half naked in a club, because being half naked or dressing in a manner that is unfitting to Hopsin's standards of purity automatically makes you a slut, and therefore makes you somebody who is who makes bad decisions automatically. Or at least, I'm sorry. This is just the context that I'm pulling out just based on these lyrics alone. There's also the interview that he did, and most of this seems like it's a type of morality that he's pulling from a particular religion. Which one that is, I'm not going to venture to guess, because I'm not trying to make assumptions about the man that I don't know as much about. Is he a gifted rapper? Does he have talking points? Absolutely. And I believe there's a lot of socially responsible rap that's come about. A lot of examples are in the Rap Critics video, which again will be down in the underbar, and I like the fact that it's creating social topics to talk about, where we're starting to take this from just being a I'm talking to a webcam situation to people in the streets having conversations about this, which is all I could ever ask for the most part. Though I would like to see social change. Social change that's not based off of some of these sex negative lyrics that are in this song. And stop frontin' like he in the club postin' postin' in the back waitin'. It's the club where guys put on a new persona. Well, so that's not exactly promoting guys that well, but I digress. I mean, yeah, we do, and the guys should stop fronting as well. If you're confident, you should be confident. We get into these self-help books, we get into these ideas, you can get her in bed if you're just confident enough, which is equally bullcrap. And it's just based off of how do I get it? How do I get it? And that's not any better than some of the ideas that we're ascribing to some of these girls in this. After they get loaded with a few coronas, they always shout and wild out with habits that very few condone of. Which is weird because I don't know. Then they look for beautiful brainless bitches like you to bone 'em. Oh, okay, here we are again. We're back full circle. If she dresses half naked, she's a brainless bitch. If she maybe is intoxicated and falls for this person's spiel, she's a brainless bitch. If she does anything outside of the purity, or the fact that she even goes to a club, period, she's a brainless bitch. Seems legit, except no, sorry, I'm sorry, Hopsin. No, this isn't how this works, and this seems like it's a chain reaction in your mind. That slut dress gets up, slut gets slut clothes on and slut makeup on. Slut goes to club. Slut gets loaded. Slut falls for whatever BS romantic whatever that these guys are fronting with. She goes, has unprotected sex because if she's a slut, she can't ever think about condoms unless, of course, you're not condoning condoms. And then even if he acts the fool or like beats somebody up in the club because of gender roles and neo-machoism and all that bull crap that you don't seem to speak much out against, then she's a brainless slut. She's a brainless bitch, right, Hopsin? Can you see why, at least just taking you from your lyrics, not even trying to enshrine this in your talk about wanting to get a better connection with God, that this doesn't work, that this is destructive? I mean, yes, some women are a lot like this. And I agree with you that sometime that I'm with you on calling a spade a spade. Check out the rest of my channel if you don't believe that. But there becomes a point to where this is almost just pointing at women and saying, oh, all you all fake ass bitches and all this other stuff, you're falling for this stuff, so you only have yourself to blame. And yes, we will get into that discussion a little bit as well. I do, like you, believe in personal responsibility, but some of where you're laying that personal responsibility is not in the right place, and is more of a generalization than an actual commentary on society at large. Next, what's next? You're going to be talking about how media is sexualizing children, which I personally am not seeing I wouldn't see where the motive for that would be unless there's some secret pedo conspiracy, and I'm so sick of hearing of this non-existent thing as if it were real, because it's the other NWO that people tend to ascribe to things. But all right, let's try to continue here. Then when they leave, you cry and cry, talking about, oh my God, I can't find a guy. I've spent so many years and I've tried and I've tried. Why am I even on earth? I should die. You want Romeo. You're not worthy. You're cock thirsty. Ha! Hell, so you're not even going to disguise the slut shaming in that. If she dresses half naked, she goes to a club, and she happens to fall for this, then she deserves everything because she's a slut. Because she's, how did you put it, cock thirsty. Because the moment that she might express her sexuality, and indeed an offshoot of self-esteem, something I've started to touch on and started to talk about with actual facts and studies on humanity, humans, and human sexuality, and how it actually works, not how it's supposed to work, or not how certain gods might say it's supposed to work. You're dressing it up and then just acting like, oh, if she dresses half naked, she's a slut, and therefore any and all of the bad things that ever happened to her, it's her own fault for not waiting for marriage to have sex. That if she's an outgoing sexual person, she's bad, she's evil, right, Hopsin? She's not deserving of any respect. She's a non-person, in other words, and we don't have to feel anything bad about her if she actually is legitimately raped and has a pregnancy that results of that rape, because, you know, some women, they just rape so easy. Right, Hopsin? Look, I get that this is probably not the commentary you're trying to put out there, but this is the commentary just looking at your lyrics as they stand. You're talented. You're better than this. Hell, you're smarter than this. I'm not trying to stand up here and be like, oh, ugh, me smart, you dumb. No, I couldn't do what you do. And I want you to continue to do what you do, Hopsin. I would just wish you would do it in a more socially responsible manner, and not in a, I'm going to uphold society's bizarrely, unnecessarily restrictive ideals about sex, sexuality, self-esteem, and women. Because what? If, let's say for the sake of argument, she is cock thirsty. That makes her less of a person. Why? That makes her less of a person. How? Again, if she's asking for exceptionalism because she got pregnant by having bad habits, or what society would consider bad habits, then by all means, I'm with you. Let's call a spade a spade. But if you're going to do it to say, well, she should be ashamed of herself, all these bitches should be ashamed of themselves, then I'm sorry. You're wrong.